Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey V. Fresh. And today, I'm going to do part 2 of Trusted Like Gold with the Probity Vault, and we're going to get a sneak peek at what the interface of the Probity Vault looks like and how you could mint the Aurei stablecoin. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little about the Flare network in general on some things that I haven't brought up in the past. And I want to give everyone a visual of what the Flare network is in the whole ecosystem with the XRP ledger, Interledger, and the Flare network. So look at Flare network as kind of like an ocean. And it's this network that doesn't have to ask permission, and it doesn't force anybody onto the network itself. So any of these F assets that are brought on are up to the users and owners of those assets, like XRP, XLM, Litecoin, Bitcoin soon, Cardano. It's up to those owners to choose if they want to come onto the Flare networks. And now there's massive incentives for them to do so. And that is the rewards that will be daily airdropped to them in the form of Spark. So just for bringing your assets over, they don't have to ask permission of the miners on Litecoin or on Cardano or on XLM or on the XRP ledger. Nothing needs to be changed on those ledgers or blockchains. They stay the same. They could be integrated without permission. So it's everyone's choice to come over to the Flare network. So unlike governments, like where the US controls the US dollar and puts up these dams and forces everyone to use the US dollar, something like the Flare network is taking a completely different approach where it's being put out there into the wild by their creators, which is Flare Network Limited, with this Oracle system attached to it. And then with these UNLs, which is a unique node list which connects these other networks. So Flare network is like the watcher. It digests all the data from these F asset networks. So all the data of the Litecoin blockchain, the XRP ledger, XLM, Cardano, and other networks that come over Bitcoin too, it will digest all that data and it will be able to offer that to anyone who's on the Flare network who runs a Flare node. Now that's one component. Then there's the owners who could bring over these assets, and they're massively incentivized to in a trustless manner. So there's no possible way you could lose your XRP from bringing it over to the Flare network. This is a superior way than just wrapping assets and locking them there and bringing them over, because Spark is being used as collateral. Instead of being used to secure the network like in proof of stake or reward miners, it's being used as collateral to secure the F assets that are brought over. And that's the key to the Flare network and what makes it so powerful. So I just want to get everyone understanding. And then there's this unique relationship to the XRP ledger where there's this two-way bridge. So you're going to think of it like there's going to be in between there it's like a trustless gateway that assets could move back and forth. And on top, I think, and we don't know a lot about the Trustline credit network, but what it seems to me is like a layer 2 that would go atop the Flare network and atop the XRP ledger. And we'll be able to interact with both. And we're going to take a look at the Probity Vault today and the actual interface that you will be utilizing. Now, this is just a beta, first version of it, so it looks very bland, but it does display some unique features, and it will give us an idea of what we're getting at. Now, let's take a look here. Moving over to Twitter. So here's the actual vault management system. So the Probity Vault securely stores your crypto collateral. And here is one example where you could put Flare, which stands for Spark, in as collateral. And then it will show you the value of that. And now you're also going to be able to put FXRP in here as well. Those are going to be the two assets that will be used as collateral to start. But in the future, we're going to see multiple F assets used and new F assets like tokenized gold, tokenized silver, maybe security tokens, tokenized real estate. Those type of things can be used as collateral in this vault system. So up here we have vault to the top left. I'm showing my arrow up here, if everyone could see, hopefully. The vault, the equity, and then your loan. And then over here to the right, we have assets, debts, and equity balances. So there's going to actually be a vault ID. There's going to show your total collateral, which is in this example, 950 Spark. Collateral utilized, 200. Your total debt in Aurei stablecoin, and your total equity in the Aurei stablecoin that you actually own. Now, this is going to work with other protocols. There's going to be an insurance protocol attached to this and the Trustline credit network, which we're going to get more information on. But right here it says, this is a web interface that was only started a few days ago. We couldn't be more excited to get the community feedback when it's deployed in Flare and the XRPL testnets. So this is a Trustline credit network and vault that's going to work on both networks. So this is really what is so special about the relationship between Flare network and the XRP ledger, is that these dApps, that's what this basically is, a decentralized bank or vault management system that stores collateral, is going to be able to work on the Flare network smart contracts using Solidity smart contracting language and the Ethereum virtual machine, but then issue this stablecoin Aurei, which is AUR, onto the XRP ledger. So we're going to be able to work on both. So you're going to get the best of both worlds. And with the Flare network, the key is the Flare time series oracle. That allows all the data, the decentralized price feeds, to manage the collateral, or at least this vault management system will be able to interact with the Flare time series oracle to know at all times what is the USD value of that collateral in the vault. So if you have some Spark in there and some XRP, it'll know at all times exactly what the USD value of that collateral is. And that will allow you then equity, which would mean you would mint this Aurei stablecoin. And then you'll be able to do something with that. Now that's going on to the composability of these dApps and DeFi protocols, where maybe you could use that eventually in Flare Finance. I'm not saying you will, but maybe you could use it in Flare Farm, or in the insurance protocol, or on other apps that are built in the Flare network and the XRP ledger. Now, we have the Trustline credit network, which is going to be the future of where replaces credit cards. So that will be under collateralized loans. Now you're saying, well, how are we going to do under collateralized loans? And the way you do that with the Trustline app is you need actually people's real identity attached to the Trustline credit app to actual financial institutions. So instead of using credit cards and paying all those fees, there is a way using the XRP ledger and the trust lines to actually set up a trust line with, say, a gateway that is a financial institution like Bank of America. And for example, you could then get a line of credit with them to your identity. Or you could do it peer-to-peer, it looks like, where Trustline is going to start. So say you have friends and family that you want to extend a trust line to, and you want to loan them $1,000, and at the end of the month, they're going to pay you. So there's the peer-to-peer nature. And remember, Chris Larson came from eLoan, he started, and Prosper, both lending fintech platforms and companies. So keep that in mind. We don't know what else is behind Trustline Inc. and Probity. All we know is that there is one creator that's been disclosed so far that is a former RippleNet engineer. We don't know how deep it goes into RippleX, but I have a pretty good feeling that this has a lot to do with PayString is going to be involved with this, because it says it right on the Trustline Credit Network website. And also the RippleX, all the investments they made over the past 2 to 3 years, hundreds of millions of dollars. I think it was something like $500 million was spent on investments through Spring. And now RippleX has taken a new form as being the infrastructure provider to allow all this to happen. So this is something very exciting that I'm really looking forward to, because it brings forward this whole idea that we're going to get a decentralized stablecoin that's going to be backed by Spark, which is pristine collateral, and FXRP, which is also going to be pristine collateral. So anyone who says, oh, well, Bitcoin is the only pristine collateral, that is not true. It's the networks that can actually have the transparency of the smart contracts to prove that asset is there and it exists in collateral, and here's the value of it. So that can't be done on Bitcoin. You could try to create any kind of side chains, lightning networks. None of that's going to work because the infrastructure is poorly designed. Same goes for Ethereum 1.0, poorly designed. 2.0 is going to have problems when it comes out because it's going to be late to the party. And nothing against Ethereum. Hey, they've led the way. But this is DeFi 2.0, and this is the convergence with the traditional markets. And this is the collateralization that has been talked about in the community for the past couple of years. It's going to take place right here. You're looking at it. The Probity Vault management system. Now, and if you saw yesterday's video, I'm going to link it in the description below and also put it at the end of this video, shows how PolySign job descriptions talks about vault management systems as well. So I think there is a connection there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and I know that's speculation. But these are the type of future applications we're going to see where you could use your assets. So now you're going to be able to put your Spark in here or your FXRP or both. Earn the daily rewards that come with that FXRP and then use it as collateral to mint your Aurei as equity. And then use that somewhere to go earn yield. Now, with the Spark being used as collateral, you'll still be able to delegate your vote from the Probity Vault. So even if you put your Spark in there, you're still going to be able to delegate the vote and earn more Spark. So you delegate it to a signal provider still. How that all is going to work in the wallet, and I know everyone asks for a step-by-step tutorial, but there's no step-by-step tutorial to make yet because we don't have all the information. So if anyone's telling you, oh, we want a step-by-step, we don't know yet because the Flare network is not fully went through the security audit and we don't know all the exact details. So we can't do a full tutorial until we get all the information. But in the meantime, I'm trying to provide as much information of what is being built on the Flare network so that when we do have the time for the tutorials and you'll know exactly how to do things step by step, you'll be able to know, oh, wow, I could use that. And now here's the Probity Vault. I knew about that because I watched Mickey B. Fresh's video and we talked about how you could use FXRP and Spark as collateral. Now, these are one things I'm trying to bring to the community's attention here. And yes, Flare Finance has got a lot of attention, and rightfully so. The beta was great, and now they're moving on to Costin 2.0. But I'm trying to bring to light here with what Probity is going to offer is going to be massive because it's built on the Trustline credit network, which is the XRP ledger and Flare. Flare Finance is just the Flare network. Trustline credit network also is going to have its own governance token. I think they're calling it TCN. We have not got details on that yet, but we will in the future. So once again, the Vault Manager allows you to transfer collateral to Probity, the smart contract system. Afterward, you can use the collateral to secure an Aurei loan or earn interest from loaned assets created through Probity by converting the collateral asset into equity, your share in the system. So that's interesting how that's going to work. We'll talk about that more when we get more details. Now, they're going to do a test net as well. And this is one of the projects that I think Hugo was hinting at in many of his interviews. And I said this in yesterday's video. What I want to get to here is the escrow. How can all that XRP that's in escrow from that Ripple doesn't hold, it's on the ledger, but gets released to Ripple's multi-sig wallet. That XRP can easily be, and I'm going to speculate here, and this is not financial advice, but this is based on technical possibilities that are real. So you could take that XRP that comes out of escrow, literally mint FXRP, put it into the vault as collateral, and then issue Aurei stablecoins with that. Now, that value that comes out of the escrow does not affect the market price. So you would still get the value of that XRP, whatever it is. So instead of just Ripple taking it, or whoever, smart programs taking it, selling it on the market, which will decrease the price, you actually take that and use it as collateral, and it has the same market value as the market is, as is that moment. And it won't affect it negatively or positively. It will just be used as collateral to back something like the Aurei stablecoin. Now, I'm not saying that Ripple is going to do that or some smart program is necessarily going to do that, but it's absolutely possible. This isn't that far speculation. It's the XRP is there. You put it onto Flare as FXRP and you put it in as collateral, and now you mint the stablecoin. Now, that's a pretty big value proposition, because what that really means is you're creating dollars. Aurei is pegged to the US dollar 1-to-1. So now you're creating a decentralized crypto asset stablecoin for free. Nobody paid any money. So that escrow has a lot of use. So this is why I say the handing over, the confiscation, all that. Ripple has been thinking about that for years. And I'm sure there's no way in hell, I think personally, that that's ever going to happen. And what is the reason for it? Because there's so many other use cases for the escrow that everyone doesn't see. So there is the incentives purpose, and now the escrow could be split into different use cases. It could just be used to incentivize maybe the minting of the Aurei stablecoin. If you mint it onto the XRP ledger, you get part XRP. We don't know how the system is going to work and what could be built on top, but there's a lot more than just what meets the eyes right now. And this Probity Vault stores crypto collateral. The Flare network is a collateral system. That's what it is built to do, collateral. And it's very important to realize that is the perfect complement to a liquidity network like the XRP Ledger. Now, the XRP Ledger is a payment network and a trading exchange built into one. Like David Schwartz said, it could do both payments and trading execution in one network. And that's what it's built to do. It is an exchange itself. And now you have a collateral system with data provisioning built into it as its sister network, complementary. XLM is not the sister network. Flare is the sister network. Let's clear that up right now, because that's very important. XLM is like Stellar is like the estranged family member, because they're not working together, where Flare and the XRP Ledger are directly working together. They're like, I want to say, not like twins, but they're like brother and sister. That's really because they're complements to each other. So, and I look at another analogy, looking at what the Aurei stablecoin is. It's like fiat married XRP and they had a baby. And that is what a decentralized stablecoin would be, because it would have the same unit of account as fiat, Aurei, which means golden. And also, Lantern in our Patreon group brought up what actually probity means. And we're going to look at the definition here of probity. And it's really, really something you want to see. Sorry. Just take 1 second. And this is the definition. So what does probity mean? The quality of having strong moral principles, honesty, and decency. So just the fact that they named the vault probity, there's always meaning to words. Like DAI says, words mean things. But what do those words actually mean? So here, what probity means. The quality of having strong moral principles, honesty, and decency. That's what a decentralized bank will be able to do, attached to a trusted Trustline credit network, which will be based on the XRP Ledger's trust lines. So I think this whole system that's being built here is going to be massive. And it's one of the reasons why Flare Network was built. And now you're bringing all this value. They're like rivers flowing into the Flare Network. So everyone's like, well, why are you going to bring your XLM onto Flare? Why are people going to bring their Litecoin onto Flare? Why are you going to bring your Bitcoin or your XRP? You got to pay 5%. Yeah, you do. But once people realize how much rewards they're going to earn for just bringing it there, and then on top of that, all the use cases that you'll get to unlock that value, Now let's go back up here. So to the vault manager. And this is where you unlock your value. You put it in these vaults to be able to mint new types of crypto assets, or you just leave it in there and you earn interest on it. And you earn your daily Spark rewards. So this is something traditional markets can't even compete with because you're earning yield in multiple different streams. It's unheard of. So this is decentralized DeFi 2.0, I think we could call this. And this will be composable with other protocols that are built on the Flare network. So, excuse me. So Securitize, for example, could issue security tokens. And those security tokens maybe could be used as collateral. Now, I don't know how the regulations are going to be with that. We're going to have to see. But that's another way to use and unlock that value. Tokenized gold can absolutely be issued, and then it would be backed by Spark. So what does this mean for Spark? Its value needs to be astronomical. At some point, it's going to have to go up because it's the collateral for all these F assets, and it doesn't need to be used to secure the network. So this is why Spark is going to melt faces. And I would have never used that word a year ago, but just looking at the way the flywheel spins, and that's going to be our next video, is the flywheel effect. And we're going to explain how this all works together. So stay tuned for that. But I really wanted to explain here how the escrow could be used. Technically, this isn't that far speculation. This is possible. XRP comes out, minted as FXRP, gets put right in the Probity vault, and you mint a stablecoin. Now this stablecoin was minted with no cost. Ripple doesn't pay for the escrow that it comes out to. Maybe it's not even Ripple who does it. Maybe it's a smart program that does it automatically and then issues these stablecoins that are worth $1, and then they're rewarded to people. I mean, there's so many different ways this could work because that escrow is of such value. It's called the war chest, and it's called a strategic weapon by David Schwartz for a reason. You don't hand over the war chest. You don't let the war chest get confiscated. And the strategic weapon. Why is it a strategic weapon? Because it could be used in ways that are unimaginable by most. And now this really flips money and what money is on its head. Because the one thing that everyone says about Bitcoin, oh, the volatility of it. It's too volatile. It's never going to be able to be money like fiat. Well, if you could create a decentralized crypto asset that can be stable using dynamic interest rates the way they do, and using actual value that could be, and that collateral that could be transparently visible. That's what the capital markets and the institutions and VCs, they want to see, that the collateral is there. The transparency is one of the biggest problems we have in the traditional market now. Nobody knows, and the 2008 financial crisis was a perfect example of the mess that was created because there was no transparency. With the blockchain, there's transparency, but there also can be privacy. So if you could verify, like zero knowledge proofs is going to be a big thing. And I think PolySign is definitely going to implement something with the zero knowledge proof aspect. David Schwartz always talks about that. And that's one thing. And also trustless gateways. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. I think that I'm going to call it a video. And I do want to say that the Patreon group is some amazing people in there, and we share some phenomenal information, and there's different tiers for different Zoom calls, and we are strategizing on how best we're going to maximize our profits for the future when the Flare network goes live. I am not a financial advisor. I am Mickey B. Fresh, and I am out.